Picture this. The year is 1690. The Indian Ocean is alive with sails, the salty air filled with the roar of cannon fire, as pirate ships clash with merchant fleets fattened by riches from Asia and Africa. Across the seas sail the most feared men of their age, pirates. But these weren't just thieves of the sea. Some dreamed of something greater. Tired of kings and empires, of corruption and oppression, they imagined a new world. And so, on the coast of Madagascar, a strange experiment was said to have been born. Libertalia, a pirate utopia where freedom, equality, and democracy reigned. Was it real? Or just a tale spun by sailors and storytellers? The story of Libertalia has haunted historians for centuries, a fascinating blend of history and myth. The Age of Pirates and Madagascar's role. By the late 1600s, piracy was thriving. Colonial empires, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, French, and English, shipped unimaginable wealth across the oceans. Spices, silk, silver, and slaves were ferried across trade routes. Wherever there was gold, there were pirates. Madagascar, sitting off the southeast coast of Africa, was perfectly placed. Pirates could strike trade routes connecting the Red Sea, India, and Europe. The island's rugged coastline offered secret harbors and natural defenses. It became a pirate haven, a place to resupply, hide, and even settle. Some pirates married local Malagasy women, built communities, and lived half as outlaws, half as settlers. But the story goes further. Some pirates didn't just want safe harbors, they wanted a republic. The legend of Captain James Misson, the tale of Libertalia, first appeared in a book published in 1724, A General History of the Pirates, attributed to a mysterious Captain Charles Johnson. Many believe this was a pen name, possibly even for Daniel Defoe, author of Robinson Crusoe. The book describes a Frenchman, Captain James Misson, who supposedly abandoned his life as a privateer to create something entirely new. Misson and his crew envisioned a society based on liberty, equality, and fraternity, decades before the French Revolution would make those ideals famous. According to the story, Misson, alongside a Dominican priest-turned-pirate named Caraccioli, sailed to Madagascar. There they founded Libertalia. What was Libertalia supposed to be? Libertalia was described as unlike any society in the world at the time. Democratic governance. Every member of the community had a vote, regardless of rank, wealth, or background. Captains were elected, and leaders could be removed if they abused power. Equality and brotherhood. Pirates declared themselves liberi, the free. They rejected the idea of kings, nobles, or masters. No slavery. Unlike the colonial empires that thrived on slavery, Libertalia supposedly freed captives and welcomed them as equals. Former slaves, outlaws, and adventurers all lived together. Shared wealth. Loot and goods were divided fairly. Instead of hoarding riches for captains, every member of Libertalia had a claim. For the late 1600s, this was revolutionary, almost utopian. In a world dominated by monarchies, colonies, and ruthless exploitation, Libertalia seemed like a dream of pure freedom. Daily life in the pirate republic of Libertalia existed. What might daily life have looked like? Pirates, former slaves, and Malagasy locals lived side by side. They built houses and farms. Ships that came to port would find markets filled with goods, not just plunder, but food, tools, and textiles. People spoke different languages, yet united by their shared belief in liberty. They flew their own flag, not the skull and crossbones, but a white banner symbolizing peace and equality. Laws were debated openly. Decisions were made collectively. Unlike European colonies run by governors and armies, Libertalia was said to run on cooperation and consensus. It was, in essence, a radical experiment, centuries ahead of its time. The collapse of Libertalia, like many utopias, the story ends in tragedy. According to the legend, Libertalia lasted only a short time before it was destroyed. Some say neighboring Malagasy kingdoms attacked it. Others claim colonial powers, horrified by the idea of a free pirate republic, sent forces to crush it. Captain Misson himself supposedly died in battle, his dream of freedom sinking with him. The survivors scattered, and Libertalia became a memory whispered in sailors' taverns and retold in books. History or myth? Here's where things get tricky. Most historians agree that Libertalia, as described, probably never existed. There's no solid archaeological evidence, no contemporary documents outside of a general history of the pirates. The book itself is filled with embellishments, legends, and outright fabrications. Captain James Misson, no record of him exists outside the book. Caraccioli, the radical priest, same story. Many suspect that Libertalia was simply a literary invention, a pirate fable. But that doesn't mean it was pure fantasy. Truths hidden in the legend, while Libertalia might not have existed as a formal republic, Madagascar really was a pirate haven. Historical records confirm that pirates like Henry Every, Thomas Tew, and William Kidd all used Madagascar as a base. Pirates did live more democratically than most societies of their day. Ships often had articles, codes of conduct, where captains were elected, loot was divided fairly, and decisions were made collectively. Pirates also frequently rejected slavery, sometimes freeing captives and incorporating them into their crews. So, Libertalia may not have been a literal city, but it embodied the ideals pirates practiced at sea. The story exaggerated and romanticized what was already partly true. Why Libertalia still fascinates us. The myth of Libertalia has endured for 3 centuries because it speaks to something universal, the human yearning for freedom. In a world dominated by kings, colonies, and empires, Libertalia was the opposite. A republic of outcasts, a democracy of rogues. It was a vision of equality born from the most unlikely people. It also reveals how pirates were more than just criminals. They were rebels against oppressive systems. They stole from empires, lived outside their laws, and, in the Legend of Libertalia, tried to build a society of their own. Libertalia has since inspired novels, movies, and even video games like Assassin's Creed or 4, Black Flag. It remains a cultural touchstone for anyone fascinated by pirates and freedom. Libertalia in popular imagination. From the 18th century onward, Libertalia appeared in pirate lore again and again. Romanticized stories painted it as a hidden paradise, a place where outlaws and dreamers could escape tyranny. Some writers even claimed that remnants of Libertalia survived, hidden deep in Madagascar's jungles. While no such ruins have ever been found, the mystery fuels the imagination. In modern culture, Libertalia has become a symbol. For libertarians, anarchists, and freedom seekers, it represents a historical what if. What if freedom and equality had been built not by revolutionaries in Paris or Philadelphia, but by pirates on the edge of the world? The reality of pirate life. It's worth remembering, though, that pirates weren't saints. Life among them was often brutal. Violence, theft, and betrayal were common. Utopias rarely survive contact with human flaws. Still, the pirate code was remarkably progressive for its time. Pirates often compensated injured crew, distributed wealth fairly, and punished abusive captains. Compared to the rigid hierarchies of navies and colonies, pirate ships were islands of democracy. So while Libertalia as a republic might be more myth than fact, the spirit of it reflected the real radical ways pirates lived. Lessons of Libertalia. Whether real or imagined, Libertalia teaches us something powerful. Freedom is fragile. Utopias rarely last, but their ideas endure. Rebels shape history. Even outlaws and outcasts can inspire future generations. Myths matter. Sometimes legends reveal deeper truths about human hopes and struggles than facts alone. Libertalia may never have stood on Madagascar's shores, but the dream of it still stands in our imagination. So, was Libertalia real? Probably not in the way the old book described. Yet in another sense it was. For a brief moment in history, pirates dreamed of something different. A world without kings, without masters, without chains. Even if Libertalia was only a story, it was a story powerful enough to survive centuries. It tells us that the desire for freedom, even among the most unlikely people, cannot be crushed. Perhaps that's why we're still talking about it today. Because somewhere, on the windswept coast of Madagascar, in the clash of cannon fire, and the roar of the sea, the dream of Libertalia still whispers a republic of the free,